Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're talking about Pangolin. Now, it's been a while, and you know what? Rightfully so. I kind of just got fed up with this project, even though I never sold my positions. I just said, I don't care anymore, right? All I just see is delays, 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 promises that, never kept happening. And I was just kind of like, you know what? I don't care. I don't care. And you know what? I didn't even know this is happening until recently, right? But the version 3 update finally drops on July 21st. Now, I'm super excited, but there is still that 20 to 30% of me that says, you know what? Keep your excitement low because we've been baited before with certain things with Pangolin, and that's just the reality. Okay. I like this coin. I think this is a really, really hidden dark horse. Okay. And I do believe this coin can literally 100x from the price it's at. And I'm not joking. And we will dive into it. Okay. We will dive into it. But, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot deny the fact that there have been multiple delays. And honestly, if it wasn't for, this whole cycle being a little bit longer, extended, and etc., this update may have been irrelevant in terms of gains or massive gains, right? If we did have something similar where we did peak back in April or May, kind of like the way we did last time, then, this wouldn't be so relevant unless we would be having a second pump. And you know what? Some people marry the coin. I personally don't, right? I believe I invest my money in high probability projects and, even sometimes memes like high risk and stuff, but because I see high return potential, right? I don't marry the team. I don't marry the coin. I don't marry the project. And you know what? Like I said, I still believe this coin has a lot of potential. It always had. It always had. It just, things were getting delayed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But finally, right, version 3 is set to drop July 21st. Now, I will say, if there is going to be any damn delays with this, I'm not covering this coin ever again unless something actually officially happens. I'm going to just put that out there right now. I will say, though, we have been covering Pangolin in the private community consistently. So if you are a Pangolin enjoyer and you want to see consistent updates, highly recommend joining the private community. But ladies and gentlemen, right, supposedly 21st of July, just a few days away, we will have the big update, right? Let's look at the price action because it's been a while. It has been a while. And like I said, rightfully so. But look, here is the deal, people, right? Here is the deal. We can see that, this whole pump happened in 2024, right? Mid to late February, right? We shot up practically from, let's just say 8 cents to 85 cents, right? A 10x within 2 week span. Okay. We can see, right, there was a lot of imbalance, but pretty much all the imbalance got filled. So this is a very, very good fundamental sign for a coin, right? Extremely great sign. So I do believe there is going to be some type of huge rally happening with Pangolin sooner than later. We can even see in terms of trend lines, ladies and gentlemen, right? Boom, we were in this trend. We kind of broke out of it, right? We kind of broke out of it. We kind of shifted our structure, right? Because we did have this relevant weekly low here, but then, or sorry, this relevant weekly high, but then we created a nice higher high in the beginning of May. And even though we did drop to kind of the prices we had in late March, this is technically a double bottom. And you know what I see a lot in terms of Pangolin's price action? I see a lot of accumulation. The reality is we have been just generally kind of moving sideways. Yes, we have been going down as well, but all of this, especially from 22 cents to 9 cents, like this is all accumulation. And even once we break past this, this will also count as accumulation as well. And I do believe we are set for a very, very big burst. When we go and search up something like Pangolin on CoinMarketCap, we can see we're ranked 685, right? 33 million market cap, 1.4 million volume, right? Volume could be better for the ratio, but at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, I do believe the volume will come. We are still listed on Coinbase, so it's good that we haven't got delisted. We're also listed on Mexi, so that is good. The positive thing is, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, the project itself has so much upside potential. We are near the bottoms when it comes to where we're at, right? In terms of price, in terms of reality, and the good thing is like the upside is great, right? The thing is, right, if we were to even 100x, that is 3.3 billion market cap. For a DEX, that is more than realistic. We've seen other, similar projects in previous cycles hit those numbers very, very easily, right? One thing we can talk about is Pancake Swap. Now, are they exactly pound for pound, one for one, literally the same? No, there's some differences, but generally we can see, right? Market cap, we go to all, right? This thing hit like 7 billion market cap, right? What about Uniswap, right? Uniswap, okay? This thing is very high up now. And before it did hit even, like 22 billion market cap. What about something like Sushi Swap, right? Sushi Swap, right? Much worse than all of these. Market cap for all-time high was practically, it did technically hit like 3 billion. I remember, the numbers sometimes are a little bit, messed up on Coinbase, or not Coinbase, Coin Market Cap. But look, right, even if we hit this number up here, 2.58, right, billion market cap, that is going to be like what, an 80 to 90x for us, right? And the thing is, we're on Avalanche. Avalanche is going to make waves this cycle. Avalanche is going to get adopted, right? Even if we look at something like Avalanche, Avalanche is the 17th biggest coin, almost at 10 billion market cap. I expect Avalanche, just even from this chart alone, you can tell it's kind of accumulating. I expect it to go to $52 soon and definitely back to its all-time highs of at least, that 30 billion market cap, at least a price of 120. I do think Avalanche will actually be hitting much better numbers this cycle, right? I do think Avalanche can hit definitely 50 billion market cap, which would be, roughly 250 bucks, let's say. So yes, I do believe Pangolin can shoot up a lot, all lot. I actually do think, we should be hitting back to all-time highs for this price, right? $4. Technically it is $5. See, look, it says $4.99, but on the chart it shows, $4.21. So I do think we should be hitting back to all-time highs, considering there's gonna be more money in the market. Avalanche is gonna be more adopted than ever. Pangolin is gonna release version 3. Pangolin will continue to update and do stuff. Pangolin is going to get the, momentum and everything it needs. And $5, right? $5 is what? $5 is a 10x from here is 333 million market cap. Okay. Which is $1.50. So, practically a 3x is like $4.50, around 1 billion. Yeah, I do think we should be hitting at least around $5 minimum, 1 billion market cap minimum, which would be 30, more or less 30 to 40x from here. Okay. I do believe this coin, like I said, very high potential coin, dark horse. It's just, they were taking super, super long and delaying stuff, which is very, very annoying. In terms of the short-term price action, we can clearly see, we were consolidating. We broke out. The other day, we just kind of retested, and now we're kind of pushing up further and further. The next relevant zone practically is going to be 20 cents. We need to look to flip this because this is practically the biggest support and resistance, right? Once we kind of hold, then ladies and gentlemen, we should be seeing, decent price action all the way upwards of 50 cents, right? And yeah, like I said, as long as Pangolin does release the version 3, as long as they keep working, I do believe they will get the spotlight they need. And I do believe, this coin will make, big moves as long as they actually just commit to making the big moves. Okay. I do believe there's going to be big money into this project. I think just a lot of institutions and big money and whales are just waiting for version 3. I believe once version 3 kind of takes off, we'll see Pangolin in the spotlight once again. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.